Shalom, Kol Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, to the Akim doing the work in truth and sincerity, as well as the few Akwat that listen and learn. This is Brother Shawar with a quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And this lesson I just want to get into real quick, the rape laws in the scriptures, because now you have these guys in these other camps, these Israelite camps, or Israelite groups, I should say, kind of, basically accepting, the law for what it is, dealing with, rape in the scriptures, because the apostles and elders of Great Millstone have been, brought out the laws dealing with this whole thing, from time, man, from, years ago. And they were, people would try to, basically crucify him for it. They try to, say that they were, rapists, that the men in Great Millstone were rapists, that, they were pedophiles, this, that, and the third, all this stuff, man. Just scoffing, mocking, slandering, and even recently, they were doing it. But now you see that the truth is being declared, and, and it says, scriptures tell us in the last days that the knowledge will be increased. So you now have people, seeing it, they understand, they get it. It's not a hard thing to understand. It's just, see, Esau has built such an emotional, effeminate, Israelite man in this society that everything is trying to cater to the woman. Everything is, if it hurts the woman's feelings, then they shy away from it. That's really what it came down to, man. These other Israelite groups and these other Israelite men just simping, and just not being men, true men, because this is the law, man. This is the law. All it is a law on the incident of what they call rape, which just means to seize when you go into it. But for the term they use today, all it is the law on how to deal with it if it happens. That's all it is, man. Same way they have laws today. It's just different according to the scriptures, according to what the Heavenly Father has set in place. So let's just get into it. It shouldn't be too long, and then I'll close it out. So this is Deuteronomy 22 and verse 22. It reads, "If a man be found laying with a woman married to an husband, then they shall both of them die. Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman, so shall they put away evil from Israel." So that's adultery, right? Adultery is when a man, lies with another man's wife. Because we know scripturally it is lawful for a man to have multiple women, right? Our forefathers had multiple women, King Solomon, King David. We know it's lawful. That's a part of the Israelite customs. That's a part of our heritage, right? So adultery is not when, it's when you have a man goes in unto another man's wife, because that is what consummates the marriage, is the act of sex, right? And there's other adulterous acts, but that is the main thing. So let's read on verse 23. "If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband," meaning promised, "and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die, the damsel because she cried not, being in the city, and the man because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife." Meaning he basically imposed his will on her, man. He popped her, man. He slept with her, and because you got to think of sex. Sex is an act of dominance. The man penetrating the woman, not to be, too vulgar or vivid or whatever, but that's what it is. It's an act of dominance. So that's what it means. so thou shalt put away evil from among you, right? And see, in this scenario, because they're both getting put to death, they're both stoned, because we know adultery is a sin worthy of death. That's a sin worthy of death, right? Scriptures clearly state that. But because, see, the woman that she was betrothed to a husband and she didn't cry out, meaning, she didn't call for help. She was with it. In other words, she was okay with this man, grabbing her up and then, taking her and then popping her. She didn't, she wasn't against it. She wasn't trying to fight, So therefore, both of them have committed adultery. And they're both put to death, right? So that's one scenario. So let's keep reading. Let's go to verse 25, and it reads, "But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die," right? So if she's crying out and she's not with it, because she's betrothed or she's married, and the man still forces himself on her, then only he is put to death. Because, she was betrothed or had a husband, and he just committed adultery. That's basically what that was. He forcefully committed adultery, on this woman, and she was betrothed and had a husband. So verse 26, "But unto the damsel that shall do nothing, there is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter." Verse 27, "For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her." Right? So, matter of fact, let me just keep reading. Verse 28, "If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he have humbled her. He may not put her away all his days." So in this scenario, you have a virgin who's not betrothed, who's not a young woman who hasn't had sex. It can mean either or, the word virgin. So let's say you have a young woman who's not betrothed, not promised to a man, and a man goes in and he seizes her, he takes her and he pops her, he sleeps with her. In this scenario, that man has to pay her father 50 shekels of silver, which Apostle Tahar went into, and I think he said, it would be around $250,000 today. So it's a heavy debt to pay, because you see, in the ancient world, marriage was more than just, this thing they do today where it's just all, lovey-dovey and all romantic. That's not the point of marriage, man. The point, there's importance, behind joining households and being married, or marrying a woman off to a man. It was joining households, it was forwarding legacy, it was about resources, it was business, and yeah, there is a love aspect to it that develops a little bit after, but that was never the main, the main purpose of marriage, man. It was business. It was resources that man was losing that as a father, right? And scriptures tell us that, matter of fact, let me get the precept before I finish this out, before I finish breaking this down. So this is Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus 36, and we'll just get to the point in 24. It reads, "He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest." Right? So he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. A possession, man. That's really, and when people of the world hear that today, they lose it. They get all emotional in their feelings, because that's how Esau has he's altered the minds to think that this stuff is just all negative, but that's how a woman's role was, to be a helpmate unto the man, right? She's supposed to be a helpmeet, man. So her role is to help the household, to help take care of the household, to help forward your legacy, by way of childbearing, to teach the children, the young children, basically the law, statutes, and commandments, and the standard of being an Israelite, so they can, they have that solid foundation, and it goes right to the father, and then it continues on. But, she was basically a valuable, she was an asset. She was an asset to a household, man. So it was business. So that man that, he took that, so like, let me put it like this. The man that quote unquote raped this, this virgin that wasn't betrothed, has taken away business from that woman's father. So he's to pay, 50 shekels of silver, and he can't put her away for the rest of his life. And that's heavy, because that means no matter if she's a demon, if she's, there's no bill of divorcement, if he's not pleased to dwell with her, he has to deal with her and take care of her, not just deal with her, like take care of her, because that is, there's laws within being married. We have, this in our customs, man. You have to take care of them, man. You got to take care of your wives. There's not just because you can have multiple women and the man is over the woman does not mean, the women are to be treated any kind of way. There's still certain, certain ways and that they're supposed to be treated. Just put it simply. See, but everybody gets emotional when they hear this stuff. But nonetheless, this was the price to pay if you were to get a woman this way, because this was one of the ways that in the ancient world that they, that you could get a woman. But it's a heavy price to pay. So you would think twice about even doing it. You would think twice about even doing it because of the price you would have to pay. Right? And that's basically just the different scenarios on what would happen if rape took place. It's nothing crazy, man. It's just the way, the different scenarios and what would happen, man. It's all it is. It's all it is, man. And here people are starting to accept it and understand that, okay, once you get out your feelings, it makes sense. Right? So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that through the Spirit. Lord's will, this was edifying. But yeah, man, it's just the law on if it happens. That's all it is. And in the kingdom, it's not even, this is really going to be for the other nations, because, we know the other nations are going to abide and follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, because that's what's going to be the new standard throughout the earth because of the righteous rulership. Right? Because our women are going to be all in order, and we're not going to have to, they're going to be, it's going to be seamless, a seamless transition to, be marrying each other, and it's going to be done with such harmony, and structure that it's not, this won't really occur within the nation of Israel, because this is, it's not gonna be like that for us, and then the Israelite women are gonna, they're gonna want us, man, and they're not gonna be with no heathen or anything. It's gonna be a very exclusive, type of relationship and access to an Israelite man, and then between an Israelite man and an Israelite woman in the kingdom. So yeah, Lord's word is edifying, and I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, Shalom, Kwam, Yasharala, and the Bible Ball.